Hello and welcome back to English with Jack. It is fantastic to have you here as we work together to help you understand real English context and speak with greater confidence. Today we are diving into a story titled The Great Prank. This narrative is designed specifically for intermediate learners who want to grasp the nuances of British humour and understand the common idiom to pull someone's leg. By following this story, you will not only practice your listening skills, but also learn how to detect when someone might be joking with you in a professional environment.
Harrison was a man who appreciated order and routine above all else. He worked as a junior accountant at a firm located right in the city centre of Manchester. Every morning he followed the exact same schedule. He would wake up at 7, have a slice of toast with marmalade, and take the tram to work. Harrison took great pride in his appearance, always ensuring his shirt was perfectly ironed and his shoes were polished. He was a good employee, but his colleagues often whispered that he took life a bit too seriously. He struggled to understand sarcasm, which is a staple of British conversation, and often missed the punchline of jokes during tea breaks.
One crisp Tuesday morning, Harrison arrived at the office building and stepped into the lift. He pressed the button for the 4th floor and checked his reflection in the mirror, straightening his tie. When the doors opened, the office seemed buzzier than usual. People were huddled in small groups, whispering and giggling, but they went silent as soon as Harrison walked past. He found this behavior quite odd, but decided to ignore it. He sat down at his desk and turned on his computer. Just as he was organizing his pens, his colleague Penelope approached him. Penelope was known for her bright, colorful scarves and her loud laugh. Today, however, she looked incredibly serious. She placed a file on Harrison's desk and leaned in close, lowering her voice to a whisper. She told him that the company director, Mr. Sterling, had just announced a surprise inspection of everyone's socks. According to her, a new company policy required all staff to wear red socks on Tuesdays to boost morale, and anyone caught wearing the wrong color would face a formal disciplinary meeting. Harrison looked down at his ankles in horror. He was wearing plain black socks.
Harrison felt a cold bead of sweat trickle down his neck. He asked Penelope if she was certain about this new rule, hoping for a smile or a laugh that would signal it was all a game. However, she maintained a stone-faced expression. She shook her head solemnly and pointed to her own ankles, revealing a pair of bright crimson socks tucked into her boots. Harrison gasped. He subtly looked around the open-plan office and noticed that Arthur, the IT technician, was also sporting red socks while fixing a printer. It seemed everyone had received the memo except for him. He asked Penelope what he should do, panic rising in his voice. She checked her watch and whispered that Mr. Sterling was starting the inspection on the 3rd floor and would arrive in exactly 20 minutes. She suggested he dash to the high street to buy a pair before it was too late.
Harrison grabbed his wallet and sprinted towards the lift. He decided he could not risk waiting for it to arrive, so he pushed open the heavy fire doors and bounded down 4 flights of stairs. Once outside, he ran along the pavement, dodging pedestrians and nearly colliding with a lamp-post. The city centre was busy with shoppers, but Harrison had only one mission. He found a clothing shop just round the corner and burst through the doors, breathless and slightly dishevelled. He frantically scanned the shelves for the men's section. A shop assistant asked if he needed help, and Harrison shouted that he needed red socks immediately. The assistant looked confused, but directed him to the back of the store. He hunted through the display and found the very last pair of red socks on the rack. They were slightly too small and featured a pattern of small yellow cartoon ducks, but he had no choice. He paid 5 quid for them and didn't even wait for the receipt. He ran back to the office, his heart pounding in his chest against his ribs. He made it back to his desk with only 3 minutes to spare. He ducked under his desk, kicked off his sensible black socks, and pulled on the tight red duck-patterned socks. He sat up, straightened his tie, wiped his forehead, and waited for the director, trying to catch his breath. The clock struck 10 and Mr. Sterling strolled into the open-plan office. He was holding a mug of tea and a stack of financial reports, looking as calm as ever. Harrison sat rigidly in his chair, his red-socked feet planted firmly on the carpet, waiting for the command to display his ankles. Mr. Sterling stopped by Arthur's desk to discuss a software update, completely ignoring Arthur's footwear. Then the director moved towards Harrison. Harrison's heart raced. He decided to be proactive, to show his dedication to the firm. Before Mr. Sterling could say a word, Harrison swiveled his chair, lifted his trouser leg high into the air, and proudly displayed the tight red socks with the yellow ducks. He announced loudly that he was fully compliant with the new Tuesday policy, and hoped he wasn't too late for the inspection. Mr. Sterling stared at Harrison's ankle with a look of utter confusion. He adjusted his glasses and asked Harrison if he was feeling quite all right, or if perhaps the stress of the tax season was getting to him.
The office fell silent for a single heartbeat before Penelope burst into a loud, uncontrollable cackle from across the room. She was laughing so hard she had to hold on to her desk for support. Slowly, the other colleagues joined in, chuckling and shaking their heads. Mr. Sterling looked from Harrison to Penelope and back again, a small smile finally appearing on his stern face as he realized what had happened. Penelope wiped a tear from her eye and walked over to Harrison's desk.
She told him to relax because there was absolutely no sock inspection. She explained that she was simply pulling his leg. Harrison looked at her, blinking rapidly as he processed the phrase. He slowly lowered his leg and looked down at the ridiculous socks. He finally understood that to pull someone's leg means to tease them or tell a lie as a joke. His face turned a shade of pink that perfectly matched his socks, but for the first time in his career, he laughed along with them. He decided to keep the socks on for the rest of the day as a reminder not to take everything so literally.
And that brings us to the end of our story for today. We followed poor Harrison on his frantic run through the city centre, all because Penelope decided to play a trick on him involving Mr. Sterling and some imaginary red socks. It was a chaotic morning, but at least Harrison learned a valuable lesson about office humour. Did you notice how the story built up to the reveal of the idiom "pull someone's leg"? We used this phrase to describe a situation where someone is joking with you by telling you something untrue, just like Penelope did. If you enjoyed this story and want to improve your British English further, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next lesson.